I see the world, but it's through this window. Another side to see, I'm ready to know. Not every story's written on a sleeve. Some stories take digging deep. Eyes wide open, words unspoken. Where are you going, darling? Where have you been? Stories to tell, emotions we felt, good and the bad in the hands we've been dealt. I wanna know why, I wanna know why you're the way you are. He's from the city, she's from the south. Two different chapters told miles out. The back row living in his White House. So many stories that I need to know. Not every story's written on a sleeve. Some stories take digging deep. Eyes wide open, words unspoken. Where are you going, darling? Where have you been? Stories to tell, emotions we felt, good and the bad in the hands we've been dealt. I wanna know why, I wanna know why you're the way you are. So many stories right in front of me. Some people climb to heights I've never seen. Too many falling down off their feet. These stories take digging deep. Eyes wide open, words unspoken. Where are you going, darling? Where have you been? Stories to tell, emotions we felt, good and the bad in the hands we've been dealt. I wanna know why, I wanna know why you're the way you are. Why you're the way you are. Why you're the way you are. Tiptoe around with face of a stranger. Quiet observer, never get too close. I see the world, but it's through this window. Another side to see, I'm ready to know. Not every story's written on a sleeve. Some stories take digging deep. Eyes wide open, words unspoken. Where are you going, darling? Where have you been? Stories to tell, emotions we felt, good and the bad in the hands we've been dealt. I wanna know why, I wanna know why you're the way you are. He's from the city, she's from the south. Two different chapters told miles out. The back row living in his White House. So many stories that I need to know. Not every story's written on a sleeve. Some stories take digging deep. Eyes wide open, words unspoken. Where are you going, darling? Where have you been? Stories to tell, emotions we felt, good and the bad in the hands we've been dealt. I wanna know why, I wanna know why you're the way you are. heights I've never seen. Too many falling down off their feet. These stories take digging deep. Eyes wide open, words unspoken. Where are you going, darling? Where have you been? Stories to tell, emotions we felt, good and the bad in the hands we've been dealt. I wanna know why you're the way you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Silverline Wednesday Night WHAM! Hosted by Scott Wakefield!
God, my ears are bleeding. That was loud.
Thank you. My goodness. Every week, better and better. It is Wednesday, and you are right where you should be. With us here on Wednesday Wham, I am your host, Scott Wakefield, and I am surrounded by an excellent group of people tonight. And we will be talking all things comic books, and specifically, we're going to talk about some superpowers again, and we're going to make them personally applicable to ourselves, personally to ourselves. That is redundant. We're going to talk about if we had one superpower, what would it be, and how we could use it. But we're also going to talk about little tidbits of pop culture. We're not going to give away any spoilers, but we might touch on the current television and streaming scene, and we're going to talk about our Kickstarters that are running right now and upcoming projects and projects we have on our back burners slated for the future, and anything that might pop into our mind, as is our habit. We rarely stay on track, but we appreciate you being here to help us stay on track. We love when you join in the conversation. If you are watching live, go ahead and shoot us some comments and questions. It doesn't have to be about the topic at hand tonight. And if you do watch it later, go ahead and throw some comments on there. We try our best to respond to them down the line. So to get started, I love for everybody to introduce themselves. And if you are new to our Wednesday night, then you'll get to learn a little about each of us. And we like to say who we are, what we do for Silverline, and I like for folks to say where they are geographically. Again, we're heavy on the southern representatives here again tonight, but that's okay. So how about I start, which is rare. My name is Scott Wakefield, and I am in Western New York right now, and where we did get finally some winter up here. We've got quite a bit of snow outside, and that makes me very happy. And I am the co-author and co-creator of an upcoming Silverline title called Steam Patriots,
which viewers can see to the side right now.
Ooh, it's up there. Okay, cool. So you'll be seeing some art there. That is pencils and inks by David Mims, colors by Daniel Hosick. And Dan is going to be doing lettering here soon. So that should be done pretty quickly. So that is coming up from Silverline. And I also help out with publicity. So if you will have a podcast or a show or a website, or you do something with comic books and would like to have some of our creatives on, we'd love to join in your fun. If you do reviews or anything like that, shoot us a note and we can get you some content, and hopefully we can help you and you can help us. We can grow our indie comic world together. So I'm going to go down the line. I'm going to go down to Tim, Haley, Tommy, Brent, and C. Michael. All right. So go ahead, Tim.
I am Tim TK. I am the associate editor here at Silverline, as well as the producer of the Wednesday night show. I'm also the writer/creator of a World War II spy book called Wolf Hunter, which is in the process of being colored now. So be on the lookout for that in the near future. I am over in the Pacific Northwest in the green state of Oregon.
All right.
Where it's also snowing, right?
In some places. I'm hoping to get up to the mountain this weekend.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, sir. Next we have Haley. Go ahead, Haley.
So I'm Haley Martin, and I'm working on all the art for an upcoming Silverline title, Bear, and I am in Central Florida.
And you also do other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my own comic heroic shenanigans. Which you can see.
All right.
Right.
Cool.
I
And we'll
do.
plug some more of that towards the end, and so folks can follow us and like and share and all those good things. Tommy, go ahead.
My name is Thomas Florimonte Jr. I've been a comic book creator since the early 90s, mostly inking, but I also do a lot of coloring, writing, penciling, mostly of my own stuff, my own creation stuff, my Kid Hero line of books through Inferno Studios. But I've worked for, I've done stuff for Marvel and Malibu and just a host of a bunch of stuff. But right now, currently, I am inking the Silverline team up book called oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Silverline
help
team
me
up.
It's a team up book that's the Champion and Miss Fury. Thank you
There you
guys for letting me just hang there.
Perfect.
I also
If
just
you
got done inking.
sticky note, and you're gonna put it right like
Right there. I
Yes.
said I got a sticky note with a joke on it, but not a sticky note with the books that I'm working on. But I also just finished inking Trumps, which we kickstarted a couple months ago, and that's out. And you can pick up copies of that at the at Indie Planet if you wanted to go look for it. It has nothing to do with the past president. It has to do with the card game where you trumps and all that kind of stuff, but it's kind of a space opera.
It's the most intergalactic game of pinochle you'll ever see.
Exactly. I'm also co-owner of the comic book printing company Kablam Digital Printing, the #1 printing company of the world. And other than that, I'm a swell fella.
all around good guy. I concur.
He'd be a swell fella.
Swell fella.
And to our resident impersonator, Brent Larson, go for it. Say hello.
Hello, my name is Brent Larson. I am the creator and writer on the Silverline comic Kalis. And I am also the creator, writer on an upcoming Silverline book called Cape Town, which we're still kind of keeping under wraps until we can get closer to production. Then I'll just love to tell you all about it.
Cool.
And I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, I'm in Orlando myself too. Sorry.
Likewise. All right. And rounding out our crew tonight, we might have more people joining us, but finally, C. Michael Lanning.
Yes, I'm C. Michael Lanning, currently a penciler for the Rejects comics coming soon. Also, one of the pencilers for the covers we have on our Kickstarter for Team Beetle. I'm also a co-anchor on Fridays for Week Ended, which is about comic news, mainstream and indie. Also, I get to play around as kind of a brunch news type host on comics news brunch on Sunday mornings now. So look for me there.
Wow.
Right now.
I'm all over the internet. We dine on comics. So, look at that.
Sounds classy. Sounds like bow ties are involved.
No,
That's
you
right.
get
Well,
your boat hat,
sometimes they
your
are.
mimosa.
Finger food.
I got to tell you, Mr. C. Michael, I love your just your black background with your face. I want to try to do that. Let me
That's
try
right.
to
It's
work.
because I'm coming from Louisiana. We feel very dark today.
Oh, that's cool. Let me try to work on that. Let me turn my lights off. See if I can do that.
They listen to a lot of metal in
Ooh,
Louisiana.
scary.
Yeah.
That did-
Yeah,
that did-
we actually have what's called black metal.
black
Yes.
metal.
There's nothing
Black
but
metal, yeah.
Opeth all day.
No, Opeth. Yeah, you have Opeth, but no, there's a deeper sound than Opeth.
Well,
out
no,
here,
Opeth
so,
is more prog, but it'd be like
yeah.
Gorgoron. Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
mostly a local scene like I Hate God and things like that. So
I don't know any of these words you're saying.
you don't.
That's interesting.
I don't even know if they're still around. But the stuff
Sorry,
like it's
guys.
weird, old black metal stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
swampy.
Might surprise you. It's never been one of my playlists.
We'll send you some stuff.
I never really listened to I Hate God either.
Can you sing a little bit?
And that's
Maybe I know the song.
No, it's EYE.
a few bars.
Yeah.
Sing a few bars. Maybe I know the song. I may
There
have
you
heard it
go.
before.
I don't
So you
know.
got to.
Pick a song.
Can you sing a few bars? That'd be great. I have a tuning pipe.
Right, yeah. See, the problem is I have
Sorry.
screamed for Ben before, but this mic is not rated for it, and I want to be able to talk the rest of the night.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah, that's wise. I wonder if those guys have that conversation before they ever go on stage. You know, guys, I really want to tone it down because, I'm leading Sunday school tomorrow morning. And
I have
it's
to
going to
talk.
work.
Down here, you would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Actually.
So yeah, Jake Lewis from August Burns Red. He has a great devotional book out too.
Well, maybe they do church. They preach it like that with
But have y'all-
the screaming.
Right.
Yeah.
I bet you Tim would know, but there's a woman that goes around and teaches all these people how to scream.
Yeah, Melissa Cross.
Like
Yep, I took
yeah.
a couple of her classes.
oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, maybe we
You
can get
would
her on
never,
the show.
and you see her, you wouldn't imagine that she'd be the type of person to teach you how to scream.
Yeah, she has a great book and DVD series out called The Zen of Screaming, and then you can
Yeah.
also take classes online from her.
Huh.
Most of the bands in metalcore and hardcore, a lot of frontmen have taken classes from her because she's very reasonably priced.
Maybe we can get rolling to get like a group thing, and we can all
We
go
can
to it.
all
And then
learn.
next week
Yes.
we can all be.
Wait a
screaming
minute. Is
when we do
it like a master class? Because don't you get like a
yeah,
flat
you
fee
get
for that?
everything if you do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, gentlemen. Okay.
Your
We have-
superpower, screaming.
We have digressed. Actually, that's a good one. I'll note that for later. Because we're going to talk about some superpowers if we have time. Superpowers that aren't that great and how we use them. Okay. Before we get too far into this, I want to talk about Silverline because that's what we're here for. Silverlinecomics.com. First and foremost, if you can go there sometime, go click around. Tim, who's over there on my screen, does a great job curating our blog, our craft series that features our creatives and different parts of the process and their creative processes, be it words or pictures and making comics and writing and character development and story creation and all that. So go click around there and you might learn a few things. And likewise, Silverline Comics. What's that?
We also started a creator diary. So when a project gets put to Kickstarter, we talk to some of the people on the team and see what they're most excited about and what they liked working on.
There you go. All of this is part of being part of the Silverline family. We are an independent publisher, and those of you out there, you're part of the family. Join in, come read, come contribute, and get inside our heads a little. And that's why we're here to share in the fun. So on silverlinecomics.com, you can also go over and click to buy our comics, and those come from Indie Planet, and all of our titles are up there. All of our current titles are up there right now. You can grab copies of those. You don't have to wait for any other Kickstarters or so forth. They are all available.
You can support El Del Taco Burrito Habit right now.
That get some of us a cup of coffee. I forgot to mention our show, Silverline Comics shows are brought to you by Daytona Beach Comic Con, and they are proud supporters of our show, and they have not set a date yet, but if you go, of course, to their website and their Facebook page, you can like and follow and all those things and get all the updates they have slated for fall winter 2021 for the Daytona Beach Comic Con. So thank you to them for supporting Silverline Comics. Next, right now, presently, as we speak, as we all sit here, we are running a Kickstarter campaign, and it is the way we've been doing things is we've been creating so many great new titles and so much new content. We're running 2 titles at a time, and we currently have Teen Beetle #1. I'm going to bring this up so I do not goof anything up. We have 2 titles running on Kickstarter. We have Teen Beetle #1 and Squish Blade #1, a remix. These are, I will stress, complete stories. So when you go and support and you back these projects, it is not speculating. You're not wondering, am I going to get something? There's always the disclaimer. But with our titles, they're done. You are really just pre-ordering. And what Kickstarter does is allows you to jump in and get all the extra goodies. You can get variant covers. You can get you can get exclusive artwork and signed stuff, and you can get digital versions and all these cool things. And to whet your appetite, we've got little teasers from the stories here. Teen Beetle is a story of a teenage prodigy who draws on scientific power of a long-held secret formula, and he ends up bringing some hoodlums to justice. And of course, this does not go unnoticed, and he gets noticed by Dr. Mantis and Sergeant AWOL, and they want, of course, to take that secret formula for their own evil ambitions. And this is a finished story, 22 pages, and it is the first of a 3-issue miniseries. So grab number 1, grab a signed copy, grab all the extras. And then Switchblade is a boxer who's fed up with the inadequacies of the justice system, and he takes a little bit of justice into his own hands with being a vigilante. And this is set in New Orleans. You may have heard of it. And this was originally released in the 90s as a black and white comic, and it's been remastered, digitally remastered with Dolby surround sound, colored by Aiden. Sorry, no, scratch that. There's no audio. Not yet. Switchblade number 1 is 24 pages, full color, and of course, completely finished, ready for print. So go and support those projects, and you're going to be supporting all the creatives and all the folks involved with those. And then you're part of the family here, and you get to jump right in and get new content, new superheroes, new heroes, new storylines, and you can be right there at the beginning of these great stories. So Kickstarter.com, and you can just do a search for. Actually, it's easy if you search by Roland Man, or if you do Teen Beetle or Vigilante or Silverline, and you can find those titles there. We have a new arrival to our show tonight, Mr. Technical Difficulties, Mr. Haircut, Mr. High and Tight, Rory Boyle.
Yeah, it'll be the last one I get.
Mr. Short Timer, Mr. Counting the Days.
I am. Can you hear the sound of ice skates yet? Because I am skating.
Yeah. Then you get the first Civ Div hair and beard. It's mandatory. Yeah.
It'll just keep. It'll be growing. In 2 months, it'll be Sea Captain, and then Wizard, and then
you'll be tucking it in your belt. You'll be Gandalf. Rory, we have all said hello. We've made our introductions.
Have you now? All right.
I did.
We were going to wait, but we said nah.
I refrained from besmirching your name. I was going to let you do that yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, I need no help doing that. Rory Boyle, co-creators Team Patriots with our illustrious Scott Wakefield, also temporary Floridian for now. Another 5 weeks.
Wow, man. Sunrise, sunsets. Yes, Rory will be assuming civilian status, OCS.
Is that it?
Official civilian status.
Returning to becoming a dirty civilian.
Dirty, filthy, useless civilian.
Looking forward to it.
You guys know each other, right?
More than we'd like. We've been places together. We've done things together.
Oh, the things we've seen.
International incidents.
Yes, it's very true. It's very true. Folks out there, where you're watching Haley as she is coloring Bear right now, if you were wondering what you're watching. And we're going to switch, I think, to see Michael later, and Tommy, I'm not sure, but we'll switch it up a little later, and you get to see the process of the art happening. So strangely, it's taken us a while to get to our actual topic. This is rare. Our actual
what was the topic?
We do have a topic.
No.
Our actual topic is we're going to pick the superpower that we would want. Not the. It's probably going to be what we think is the best superpower, but the superpower that we would want and why and what we would do with it. And then once we get through that, I've got some not so great superpowers to find out how we might use those if we had them. So does anybody want to start? If you recall, viewers, a lively debate about the merits of flight. Was it flight versus telekinesis? I think that was the biggest. Was that what it was?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That rings a bell.
Yep. And then we can talk about the pitfalls that come with these, like really like Professor X's power, like what are its limits? How does it control? How does he not go crazy? Stuff like that. Mind reading, can you turn it off? I am authorizing rabbit trails and supernatural superpower diversions. So does anybody have any that they want to start with?
I'll go because I was deliberating this for many minutes. Choosing your superpower between something that is functional and useful or something that's fun. Because if it's something that's fun, it'll probably get old quick. But if it's useful, maybe make a career out of it, you know?
Yeah. So
like the ability to do things on time.
Is that a superpower?
Well, actually, yeah. Best
for some
superpower.
folks. Yeah.
I'm still on island time from 6 years ago.
My superpower is I have a watch. And
Yes.
Alarm clock that tells me.
What do those numbers mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Brevity. So I've always thought invisibility would be a fun one. But we've all read or seen some version of the Invisible Man. And when you got to run around naked,
it's that thing where does your
you'd be
clothes
freezing
turn invisible when you decide to go invisible,
yeah.
or not? Or you
And-
just totally
And the problem with the Invisible
invisible.
Man is he's in like Central Europe,
Yeah.
like in winter. That's not comfortable.
I have that same problem with flight. When does it wear off?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. So are you invisible all the time, or can you control when you become invisible? Is that
Right.
There
which
you
is
go.
it? So
or if you're wearing
gotta-
clothes and they
How
become
much
invisible.
trust do you have that you're going to stay invisible?
right?
Yeah. Oh, that would be embarrassing too. You turn invisible, then all of a sudden you're jetting around naked or walking around naked, and then all of a sudden you start thinking about
Yep.
baseball or whatever it is you're doing. And
Or
then all of a sudden,
if you
boom,
can-
everybody can see you and you're naked. That
Oh.
would be cool.
If you can fly and you can like pick somebody up and take them with you, your arms would get tired.
Oh yeah, you got to be able to
Yeah.
lift them.
Yeah.
Flight always seems like a complementary power. Like you need something else to back it up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Super strength.
So
and-
strange.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, and of course, if you're flying, and you're not got some sort of something that's protecting you, you're gonna freeze your beak
Right.
right
Yeah.
off as
Yeah.
you're flying
Yeah.
around because it gets kind of cold when you get up there.
Anybody that's
Unless you
ridden
fly like 3
motorcycle,
feet off the ground all the time.
the bugs, like if you
Oh.
go 60, 80 miles per hour, like 200 miles, how would your eyes?
Yep.
Yeah. There's no way.
Always
So-
$1 million
like
smile.
you get some of the best utility out of something like super strength because you got the practical usage of picking up and moving heavy things,
Right.
but also you got your classic Superman or Hulk leaps with your mad thighs at that point.
Yeah.
But the issue would then come with the adjustment period once you first develop your powers and not crushing everything you care about.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you still have to
Yeah.
work out?
Right,
So
yeah.
You want to be super strong, but then just look like a normal person. That would be
Yeah, is it like
whatever normal is. Whatever. Yeah,
Is
you
it-
wouldn't
it-
be able to pick up a car, but then have to have the muscles to be able to pick up a car.
Is-
You'd
is-
be like this big, huge guy.
Is it like Goku strength where you look like a jacked average person, but you still need to train regularly to maintain
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
No, I don't want
Mm.
to train. I just want to be super.
Doesn't sound like a
and look like
superpower.
I
Just
look
give me
like-
the
Maybe,
powers.
maybe not without the gut, but still affect me. That'd be pretty cool.
Quentin says teleport as long as you can't teleport into something.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
Yes. Very well. If you were making a wish and you were wishing for teleportation powers, you would have to put the caveat on there.
Yes. Yeah.
But the genie would get you.
Yeah. That seems like something Q would do to the transporters. And Wubba has actually what might be the best answer. Well, maybe. Scarlet Witches or Silver Surfers, either. He's good. Silver Surfers, I feel like you're set because you're near deity, but you've been born into that, so you can control it.
Yeah.
Scarlet
yeah,
Witch, we've already seen
Silver
several
Surfer.
stories about the downfall of her powers.
Right.
What
Yeah.
powers does he have? He's a good surfer. What can he?
Yeah, he's totally rad.
He's totally rad. He's the power of rad, but
You can
also,
hang 10 like no other.
I mean, well, flying through space is one thing, but also I believe it has something to do with cosmic energy. You can channel cosmic energy, and that's also what gives him.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Holy cowabunga.
Being silver.
Holy
being
cowabunga.
silver's kinda, yeah, being
It's
silver.
nebulous. Channeling cosmic energy is like, I mean, what can you define it? I don't know.
It's one of
Is
those
he
characters
strong,
like he
too?
can do space stuff. What does that mean? Whatever the story needs him to.
Yeah, whatever it needs to be at the time.
Shoot
It's all
beams.
about the stardust.
right.
Yeah, he can shoot beams.
Yes.
Haley, what do you want to be?
I
What's
did.
your power?
I have a pitch laying around somewhere in some editor or artist email, where the superpower is essentially just intense skateboarding. A guy got it was supposed to be like a super soldier serum, but it also turned into necrotizing fasciitis. So he's a super
What?
zombie, but he's
Oh.
he's a skateboarder. He was just a homeless guy, got picked off the street. That's why he's the test experiment. So he's like, I know how to skateboard. I'll do that really good now.
As a zombie.
While looking like a zombie, yeah.
Maybe
right,
you're just
all right, I like
super
that.
agile. You know, you're maybe not just good at skateboarding, you're good at any.
Yeah, well, they use it turned into like skateboard foo, where like he's fighting the conspiracy that made him, and he's doing skateboard foo.
Oh my gosh.
I like that. So
Hmm.
has,
Like an early 90s NES game.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
it's a comic that's brought to you by Big Red.
yeah,
Yeah.
The third sponsor in the comic.
we never think about, and we can't, the actual physics and stuff like that, because like Hulk jumping, his force downward to make him go upward would be catastrophic to everything around him. Or
No. I mean, it's how much he weighs would be the amount that he.
No,
crashes
when
into the ground.
the launching power, it's an equal and opposite. It's a reaction. It's physics.
Yeah.
It's that way.
Well, but he's
Because they
got
also have to
art.
deal with
He gets
acceleration
that
picked up
art
from
that
curvature depending on how
initially
fast he
is the
moves.
same.
They're
So
fighting gravity.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right? It's just gravity, you know.
because gravity because he's also going to end up multiplying to velocity really quickly because of
Yeah. It's gonna be
everything the
like,
same terminal velocity, but it's the speed at which you reach terminal velocity is what will get you.
Let's just ruin everything.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
We
That's
ruined
actually-
space battles and
Yeah.
Star Trek and warp
That's-
speed.
That's actually something I really liked about the new Marvel Avengers game that came out was they got the impact of the Hulk leap really well. I felt like you felt it every time you did it, and it just wrecked people if they're near you.
Corrected.
Yeah.
This kind of goes back to when we were talking about the games that we liked a couple of months ago or so. When I was talking about the role playing games, I really like to play superhero role playing games, but we leave that kind of stuff out.
Right.
As far as like you
Yeah.
know knockback and when you jump and all that kind of stuff, because that's a lot of math to have.
Well, this is something that maybe Scott and Roy get, but back in first and second edition AD&D,
Mhm.
where you had your fireball that you had to calculate the cone, the blast
Yes.
radius, the blowback.
Yeah, that's no
Huh.
fun when you have to do that much math involved. With you punch somebody and then you
It's
get
plenty
knocked back.
fun.
Yeah.
Because if you do the real physics, you're gonna punch somebody real hard. You're gonna knock yourself back too.
Yeah.
And that's no fun because Superman doesn't fall back when he punches
Right.
somebody. The other person just
So-
goes flying across the room.
Well, that's because he's got super strength.
Yeah.
That's
So
right. He's got something else going on there. Yeah.
I have one for the physics. And
Maybe
Tommy,
he's flying forward as he punches, so that way he doesn't get knocked back because he's still
Right.
flying forward.
Mhm.
Yeah. that's-
Plus, he's from Krypton and stuff.
right, well, there,
the sun has something to do with it. Yeah.
Tommy, your mic's a little quiet again, just so you know.
Oh.
The one that I have a question about, a physics one, and if you're a physics major out there or a physician, so Winter Soldier on a motorcycle, okay,
Oh, not this again.
punches a car. Shouldn't he be thrown sideways as well? Because he punches the car. I get he has super punchy strength, but he doesn't weigh any more than a human versus a Cadillac. I'm just wondering. I think he should punch and he should be thrown, not the car. So, for those of you at Marvel who wrote that storyline, the movies, I'd like to change it, please.
Well, that's like the same thing of like force redirection when if you're greater velocity to not great velocity, but then greater magnitude will cause that velocity to redirect. like if the magnitude is greater than inertia.
This
But
is
is the magnitude of Winter Soldier's arm greater than the inertia of a Cadillac? Because
Make it work. Sound good.
It's the arm specifically.
Right.
I will point this out. I actually met the screenwriter of Winter Soldier,
Oh.
the co-writer,
Yeah.
Stephen McFeely. He was at Austin Film Festival, and I got my photo with him and everything, and it was awesome. And we didn't talk about it. It didn't really come up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Because you're normal.
Yeah.
No way. Just give me a second. I've got the equation, inertia and momentum. Just 10 minutes. Good. I'm glad you didn't do that, Brent. Good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Wubba in chat says, "Don't root with logic." Dope. I mean, yeah, but this is probably going to be our actually cast, where we're just talking about superpowers and actually each other to death.
Especially for all men, yes.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay. Back on track. I rein it in, people. All right.
Haley's up. Make it
Oh
tough.
yeah, I need to say things.
Say things.
Say things. I think a useful superpower would be to like be able to control how long you sleep for.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could take like a 10-minute power nap. I can't.
And have it be like
I'll set an alarm.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I will. Like literally the other day, I was like, I set an alarm. Like, why didn't it go off? And my mom was like, "Oh, I heard it go off. I heard you turn it off," and I didn't remember it at all.
Yeah.
Like we're taking a nap. So if I could just be like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep for 10 minutes or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Controlling
be a
sleep would
weird
be
power,
good.
but
I don't know what happens in my body, but it seems like once a year I'll have like a week where I will hear no alarms.
Yeah.
I will hear like, I'll wake up and my alarm has gone off on my phone, and I have obviously turned it off, and my phone is nowhere near me. And it's strange. I have no idea.
I have one of my like Alexa dots in my bedroom just across the way. And so I will use that as my alarm. Because they'll go from like, your standard alarm sound to reading the news, and then I have a music playlist after that.
Yes.
So every so often I have to change the initial ringtone, change the news station so I get a different anchor, and then change the band just because I need to change something up. Otherwise, I'll get acclimatized to it and sleep through it in about 2 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm really good at sleeping. That is my super. Now, Haley, like a 10-minute power nap would wake me. I'd be like, I'd wake up and I'd be in a fog, so it wouldn't work. But when I sleep, I am incredibly good at it. I have always. One of my buddies growing up, he'd be that like up at 4:30 on Saturday to go fishing and stuff. And I'm like,
No.
no, what?
is there a 4:30 on Saturday?
Yeah, there's a 4:30. And he could do it. And we'd be up playing like, capture the flag with our friends till 2 a.m. and stuff like this and running around. And then we'd camp out or whatever. And he'd wake, "Oh, let's go fishing." What's wrong with you, dude? No. I used to be really good at sleeping everywhere, like planes, cars, like the floor.
Yeah, because that was trained into you.
Yep.
Yeah, and then being on a ship, my goodness, I could sleep everywhere and anywhere, bed
Everything, 30-foot seas, rolling, pitching, helos flying over, whatever.
But now, like something broke in me probably about the same time that I can't do carnival rides really anymore. Like I got old.
That's when you got old.
Yeah,
I did. I can't like sleeping on the floor, spinning. I had my daughter at the park, and she was on one of those, those metal spinning death machines
around things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun.
well, that's a specific. There's interesting specific you put there, because I can do theme like amusement park rides, but I can't do carnival rides because they're sketchy as heck.
Yeah.
It's the fear of death is
Yeah. No,
I had my daughter on that thing, and I'm spinning as fast as I could get her going, and I could barely watch her and she was on like 20 minutes. I'm like, "Are you done yet?" And she, "No." And I'm watching, and then I jumped on to be silly for a minute, like to get her, and I had to get right off. I couldn't do it. It was I remember it was a 4th of July. It was a carnival, and it was one of those rides that spins and then like pops, goes up.
Oh yeah.
the rocket ship thing. I wanted to die. And carnival rides, I think, are about 10 times longer than amusement park rides because they don't turn them off if there's nobody in line.
Well, they save the money and the safety equipment, so they can put that into the.
It turns off when it wants to.
Yeah.
So yes, sorry, Haley, sleeping that would be very useful. What about one like superpower if you could pick one?
That's not super enough.
Well,
yeah, sleep possibly super.
Yeah, that actually is kind of a useful power. I'd love to be able to do that for other people too. You know, like my wife sometimes has trouble sleeping, and I would just be like,
That's like a chokehold. You know?
Yeah, I've thought about
that's
that,
actually-
but I would like mine to be less life-threatening.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like the sleep kind of thing.
Yeah,
That would
it's
be
actually-
very cool, and also on plane rides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus
yeah.
Atlantic. So yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's our one of the characters in my own comic. Her superpower is putting people to sleep, and she has a crush on like the kind of shady villain guy, and he has insomnia. So she's like, "Well, hey, let me." So that's what she gets him to agree to, hang out with her.
So where do you keep the valuables?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Chicken.
their dating life is unspectacular.
So who else has anything? Anybody got a power that they want? Now, I am of the mindset that telekinesis would be the most useful. I don't know if that's what I'd want.
As long as you can turn it off.
Yeah, like it'd have to be well reined in, under control, because
Sure.
just goofing, whoopsie, doing something silly. Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Well, let me ask you a question. Aside from super strength, what would y'all think would have a superpower that would be a problem?
See, I think the mind reading one would.
That would be.
If you
Yeah.
can't turn it off.
Yeah, you go crazy.
That'd be yeah.
You'd have to be able to control it.
Right.
Even if you are controlling it and you hear something that you wish you hadn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Has anybody read Chew?
What was that?
Has anybody heard? It's Chew.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well,
And
yeah.
the main character in there, his name is he's a detective named Tony Chew, and all he eats is beets, because whenever he tastes something, he can tell the history of anything he tastes, and this also transfers into human flesh. So he could he uses that to kind of solve mysteries and stuff like that. But that's one of his main problems is if he decides that he wants to, like, say chicken soup from the kitchen, it's not chicken, but Tim probably knows what I'm talking about. Why not? But he could tell who made it, where it came from, how many people put their hands in it, all sort of, and he just can't eat.
Wow.
All he could do is eat beets. And I was like, it'd be kind of a cool thing to know, but then it wouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
be cool for like 5 seconds.
I think
Yeah.
like being able to pass through things would be useful,
Mhm.
but then if it wasn't welcomed, like what would stop you from going through a floor? You'd have to be able to float, because like walking through a wall.
Yeah.
I think it's like all of the powers. I would kind of assume if you've had them for a little while, you probably know how to use them,
Yeah.
right? So maybe
didn't
that
that happen
spoils
to,
the story.
Didn't that happen to Kitty Pryde at one time where she kept going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
couldn't stop herself, and she just kept moving.
Yep.
She kept going. She kept kind of phasing through the floor, I think.
Yeah. You get I forgot how they got around that, but yes.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember that either. It's some kind of magic.
Every time I think of Kitty
Magic.
Pryde, I think back of the Astonishing X-Men and how she stopped the nuke, and I get real sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Actually, the thing with superpowers is they're all kind of bad. Like,
Yeah.
I love the idea of flying, but what would happen if I suddenly got the power to fly?
Oh, I lost audio.
I guess you could train yourself to do it right, but you would have to have a level of, like, I want to say maturity that is
lot of
not
control.
guaranteed across the human race.
Well, that's
So
a lot-
we're saying flying is different than just being able to levitate, like a permanent.
Right.
Like if you're flying, you're saying flying like a plane. You actually have to be.
Like Superman flies.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But he hovers. There's a lot of time where he sits there and he just kind of just floating in the air. So
He's
is that
a
flying?
Beetle. He's a Harrier.
And if he's like a helicopter,
That's right.
it uses
He's
a
a
lot more, hovering uses a lot more energy than actual flight.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
Are you suggesting it burns calories?
Oh.
Well, that's always a good question too. Like, where does the energy come from for someone?
The sun? Come on, don't you read the comics?
Okay.
right.
He's a plant.
So
That's why he never goes to Alaska.
it's
That's
true.
right.
That's
Okay.
like, well, they kind of talked about that in Doctor
Well-
Strange, like the fact that they had one episode or one issue where they're all chowing down. They're like, yeah, we all eat like 5,000 calories a day because otherwise we
Always
can't do any
eating.
of
They're
this.
they're power
Michael Phelps
power
of-
lifter guys. They're
Yeah.
just eating all the time.
Doesn't the Flash talk about like that comes up frequently with the Flash?
That he's got to eat all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Because I remember specifically the '90s Flash where he eats a bowl of cereal out of a
Mhm.
like a popcorn bowl, and
Yeah.
they speed it up, and he eats the cereal. Yeah, that was the '90s Flash, the television Flash. That was a good
Yeah.
one.
That was good.
Mm.
Okay. So we have Haley wants to be able to sleep with control. I've said telekinesis. If I had to pick one, I think that would be one. Rory, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Well, I'd say if I'd had to pick one, it would be luck, just like that woman from
Oh,
Deadpool
Domino.
2. Domino, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be. Everything just works out.
I mean, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, super. Like, here's another one that would cause problems too. Super genius, because really, like, if you had like a super brain, you could be rich. You could be Iron Man, Tony Stark,
Mhm.
and create those things. But then also, I mean, like, would you turn into like Morty, or Rick rather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Pickle Rick.
Well, that was when
I'm Big
Rick-
Rick.
when Reed turned into the architect in the
Yep.
Dark Timeline. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Well-
like, you're so smart, like you can't interact with people.
Right.
You're
You become socially awkward.
I think
Yeah.
I think Forge is the guy who handles super
Forge.
intelligence the best. He's just becomes like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill and make things when people want it. Other than that, I'm good.
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
No, the
Do you
thing
guys
about
remember
Forge is
there
he's
was
also,
Do you remember in the 90s, Peter David wrote his X Factor? He wrote a stint on there, and he had an episode where each of the characters is psychoanalyzed,
Oh,
and one of them is Quicksilver, and he
Yeah.
basically explains what would you think it was like, when you're in line at the bank and the person in the one in front of the ATM doesn't know how to use it and just keeps standing there trying to figure it out. That's like what everybody is like to me. That's what Quicksilver says. But it must be like 10 times as bad if you're super intelligent, because literally everyone is moving slower than you,
right.
and
Yeah.
you've figured out everything before they even started thinking. Frankly, it would drive you up
Yeah.
the wall.
that's
Yeah.
that's why I
That's
like
a terrible superpower.
that's why I like Doctor Nemesis in X Club. Or anytime they get close to Doctor Nemesis. Remember back like mid 2000s, every mutant felt Omega level, but whenever they get to that level of Doctor Nemesis, where he just like cuts off everyone, so he'll be talking to someone, they'll say something like, "No, don't be stupid. We're doing this instead."
Well,
That's a good plan, but here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
that's kind of Rick. I mean, in
Yeah.
Rick and Morty, like, it's hilarious because he gets pissed off at everybody because they don't trust him.
Yeah.
And I know how what's going to happen. It's so, yeah, you're right. Like, any
Such a good show.
Yeah, any super genius would be like, okay, yeah, stop, nope, just do what I say. Right. Yeah. So
Yes.
okay, is there a superpower that doesn't have
Drawbacks.
the adverse side effect?
Hmm.
Because
Uh,
like X-ray vision, if you, I don't know, there's things you don't want to see.
Yeah, what level of X-ray
right.
vision? Like
Yeah.
see through,
Like-
see through everything. See,
Right.
Everyone's a skeleton.
oh god, that'd be
Yeah, everybody's a skeleton.
that'd be great for
Yeah.
someone who has like super intense X-ray vision, but is also squeamish around blood.
Right.
You just see arteries throbbing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm woozy.
That would be a
Yes.
problem. Yes.
I have a great superpower, but every time I use it, I need a bucket handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ability to determine if somebody is telling you the truth or the half a truth or lie. See,
Then
that could-
natural
That's
20
kind of a
passive
mind reading,
insight.
right?
That'd be useful, but again, but like mind reading, like you wouldn't. Sometimes you just don't want to know that.
right.
Yeah.
Someone's trying to not hurt your feelings or whatever, but
Or maybe you don't have mind reading. Maybe it's that, like you were saying, it's you can tell if they're lying. Maybe you're like your powers, you're a lie detector, and they can say whatever they're saying. You can't read their mind, but you can tell if they're telling the truth or not.
yeah.
Would that be
Maybe-
good?
Yeah.
You know what'd be strange though is if obviously if you never told anybody, that would get you into all kinds of trouble, because if someone lied and you were with someone,
Oh,
you would
yeah.
either turn to that person and say, that guy just lied, in which case the other guy would say, well, how do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Like I
if-
know these.
I just feel like you're a liar.
Yeah.
That's all.
yeah,
Got a good feeling.
but not only that, if people started to actually take notice, you could, I've thought about this.
Well, you don't
If
have
someone-
to use it. You could just say, use it to your own benefit.
You mean turn it on and off?
No. You would know. You the guy with the power, the girl with the power, whoever had the lie detector power, he, whoever would would know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you have to use that information all the time.
You would just
Right.
know and just swallow
I mean,
it. It's
like-
like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be easy stuff like if you're playing cards and if
Yeah,
the
take it
guy's
to
bluffing
Vegas.
or not. You
Yeah.
then you go, I think you have. Do you have any? Do you have any twos? And they go, no, I don't have twos. And you go, you liar! I know you have twos. Go fish. That kind of.
But yeah, but then you're like, I guess this is my superpower. I can
Yeah.
tell when people are lying when we're playing crazy eights.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, I've thought if the world knew there was someone who could detect a lie, that person would become like,
Ostracized.
well, actually, I think they'd
You would
probably
never
be
let them in your
killed
party?
within a couple of days. They
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
Mhm.
be
Yeah.
possibly the most dangerous person in the world. So, yeah,
I think
I don't want that superpower either. I'll
Yeah.
stick with the being able to make people sleep thing. I'm going to go with that one. It's very uncomplicated.
But that's
so.
just the chokehold.
see
Chokehold to somebody else.
I like
Power of perfect health.
Cypher's power. I understand languages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. And he can talk to an island. That's pretty cool
Right.
too. So
So,
I'd like
so
to
we're
talk
kind of
to my
saying
mom.
that the bigger, crazier, typical superpowers are too much. So we're trying to whittle it down to something that's just easy, that's still considered a superpower, but not so much that's going to drive you crazy or everybody
Right.
else crazy.
Something that
I
doesn't
thought
mean
that's
you'll nuke a city if you have a bad day.
Right.
That's right.
yeah.
I mean,
Perfect
it's
health
yeah,
all the
that's-
time. That's
it's
what
Like,
would be it.
like my superpower is no matter what shoes I have, my feet fit in the shoe.
right. Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Ooh,
You would-
clothes
you could
always
always
fit
have, you
perfectly.
wouldn't have to worry about going shoe shopping. You could just say, I want those shoes right there. You figure out which ones are on discount. Those are the ones you get. Boom. You got you
And then
some
you can
discount
marry the
shoes and you
prince,
look
Tommy.
good.
And then Tommy's got a closet full of cowboy boots.
That's right. Because my feet now fit in the shoes.
Stop.
That
Say,
would
Michael,
work.
say that again.
Huh?
Say
Oh yeah,
it
then he can marry the prince.
And the glass
There we
slipper and
go.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I know where you were
Oh,
going with
that's
that.
great.
Ooh.
That's great.
So imagine like the meet the team scene in like your classic superhouse setup where like here's the new kid, here's the team you're working with, here's all their powers. Just talk to Tommy. So what's your power? I fit into everything. So
Yeah,
your master of
you're
disguise?
no better or
No. Got clothes? I fit into it.
That's right. I don't have to worry about my pant size or my shoe size or nothing. I fit
Tell me
into
what-
everything.
Because you're right, like shopping for pants might be the worst, the
Oh,
deepest level of hell
terrible.
in the world. But Tommy, okay, what I was going to ask, I've got some other little silly superpowers that are manageable, I think. But how would you make the world better with that superpower?
Oh.
Oh,
You make his
Well,
world
it'd
better.
be better for me because I could get any kind of shoe I wanted, any sparkly shoes, any stilettos.
It'd be a
I
lot
always
nicer
thought
to
it would be
people.
kind of neat to wear stilettos. I guess
You'd be spreading the kindness.
I could be
Yeah.
taller, by having some big old crazy. See, right now, I say the shoe thing is because y'all, not all of y'all met me. I'm 6'4". I'm a big guy. I have big feet.
I've seen bigger.
I wear a 16 size shoes. So finding shoes for me is not the funnest thing.
Yeah.
So if I had the shoe power, that would make my life so much. I'd be so much happier, especially as a kid. When I was 12 and 13, I had these big ass feet. And
So when you put these shoes on, do they always stay that size then?
no, the shoe stays the size, and somehow or another my foot just fits in it. Maybe my foot doesn't get bigger or smaller. My foot just
Little feet,
fits. That's the
like,
power. You don't
fall
know.
Pocket dimensions.
Like a
Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
I don't know. It's just like they just fit. It doesn't matter if they get smaller or bigger. They just somehow they fit.
Hmm.
That's the power.
Take the
Big
shoes
great
off,
mystery.
and for a
Do the
second
clothes
your
grow
foot
or
is
they
like the
come?
same shape, and then it goes back. to normal.
Yeah, and then I pull my
Bling.
foot out and boom, it's then throw it back to a 15 size foot. Yeah, but then I put it in there, boom, it fits into a 13. Wow, that's so cool.
So-
that would have saved me a whole lot of embarrassment shopping for shoes when I was a kid. Y'all have made into my mind. Have you seen all the stuff I had to deal with?
And they just have the moment where there's a 6'4" guy wearing like children's shoes.
I wouldn't go get little size 5 shoes.
Little
They'd
Spider-Man
fall
sneakers
over
with lights in them.
because
Yeah,
still-
Tommy's got Doc McStuffins shoes for some
Oh,
reason.
you would fall over if your feet were that small and you were as tall as I am. You would just fall over if you had
So,
you wore size 6
if you put-
boy
if you
shoes.
put clown
That wouldn't
shoes
work.
on, would your feet just grow to these things?
Yes, yes.
Clown shoes, every kind of shoe. That'd be
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
Okay, this is riveting discussions here. This is is someone writing this down because this is going to be the next superhero. Marvel and DC, if you steal these ideas, we're coming after you.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
So
Yes.
what if you had the superpower of breathing underwater and that was it? I'm not talking like Aquaman or Namor.
So you don't have gills. You
Right.
can just breathe.
breathe
water.
underwater.
Like a
Does-
fish. Well, fish have
That's
to
got
breathe their
caveats
gills.
too.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it comes out your rear end. I don't know.
Oh.
Somehow-
You're like a jet prop.
Yeah, every time you were breathing, you would just keep moving backwards because you're breathing out the water or no, forward, I guess.
Jenna, why-
You come shooting out of the water.
Okay, wait. No, that's not part of the superpower. All you can do is be underwater and not die. Okay, I don't know how.
Okay.
So, how would you use that as a superpower?
Okay, well, can you survive the depth of
That
the
was my
pressure
question,
under
yeah.
the water? Yeah.
Your
No.
ears are going to pop at around 12 feet.
No, so it's
okay.
your typical scuba type thing. So
You-
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
go down any further than just like a normal. But you could just
You could
You
do a
can go
lot
down
to
a
clean
couple
up some of like the plastic float or like oil spills. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could be really you could clean pools really well.
Oh, yeah.
Fight octopi and sharks
Yeah,
and
you would be
lose
you
every
would be-
battle.
here in Florida with all
Yeah.
the pools. You'd be busy every day of the week. Just think how many calls you'd be on all the time. This
Get
guy
rid of
can
all the
clean pools.
lionfish. Come back with a bag of lionfish.
Yeah, you could go. All the fish stores would love you. You'd be.
Oh,
able to
yeah.
go.
You'd crash the market in the
Yeah.
fish aisle. I mean,
So
Yeah.
okay, wow. So we agree that'd be a really useful superpower, even without the super like the
Pressure,
tough
yeah.
fish,
Right.
just be
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
water
You couldn't
and
you
not
couldn't
die.
go your 1 fathom or whatever.
You know,
Yeah.
but
without
then
starting to get squished up.
get yourself your NATO waterproofed MP5. Scare off some whalers.
There you go.
You could be dead for a second. Then when the scuba diver guy comes up to you and go, wow, like that. Scare the crap out of him. That'd be pretty fun.
But I do have a point I want to make,
Okay.
and that is I have to go.
So
So
oh,
All right.
Sorry,
what's the
everybody.
mic drop thing that you're going to give us today?
you know I can't think of anything good.
Okay.
Best minor superpower, you can slow down time so you can read a book faster. How's
What?
that?
That's
Brent,
right.
do you
That's right.
age as the time go? See ya.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, you guys figure that one out, and we'll talk later.
Yes.
Later,
Slowing
bro.
down time. Do you
Bye, guys.
Continue to age,
Bye,
Brent. Thank you, sir. Have a great evening.
Thank you, sir.
Do you
Okay, I'm
continue to
probably
age?
gonna go too.
Okay, Haley. All right. So,
Okay.
Haley, plug your website real quick before you go and your Silverline projects, and then we'll say goodnight.
Okay, yeah. So what you've been watching me work on is Bear, which should be coming probably sometime this year, and then you can read my own comic that I do is Heroic Shenanigans. So it's at heroicshenanigans.com. I also post it to Webtoons. If you just Google Heroic Shenanigans and spell it wrong because it's kind of a long name, you'll probably still find it. So
All right. Thank you very much. We'll hopefully see you next week.
yeah. All right. Good night.
Bye.
You want me to stream
Yes, sir.
one of the syncing things?
Yeah,
Let me
that
get it-
works.
let me get it
So-
running.
Did we
Folks,
lose
so
C.
we-
Michael?
Yeah, he posted a thing saying that he had to
Hmm.
go. He will
Oh, he had to go too. All
explain
right.
later.
Secret
All right.
Agent Man.
Well, okay for him. So we've passed the midpoint, everybody out there. We are talking superpowers tonight, which fits with our comic book world that we live in. We are discussing if we could pick one for ourselves, what would that be? And silly superpowers and how we could make use of things like being able to fit into any shoe and being able to survive underwater, but that's it. No other superpowers there. And we'll continue that discussion. If you have an absurd or just useful superpower, go ahead and throw that in the comments, because we realized that, yes, I think someone may have said that with great power comes something. We know that things can spin out of control. We can lose control of our telekinesis or our invisibility or our X-ray vision or our super strength or our power to fly. And those seem to create a lot of problems when we have all those extra powers. And I will let everybody know that the first half hour and this half hour of our shows are brought to you by Daytona Beach Comic Con. They have set a date for the fall/winter of 2021 for their comic convention. We all know that to be determined is a pretty common add-on, proviso for anything we're planning. So we thank them for sponsoring Silverline and the Sunday night and Wednesday night show. So go over to their Facebook page, their website, and do all the things you know how to do, like, follow, subscribe, and make sure you get all their updates for as their plans progress and solidify. So thank you, Daytona Beach Comic Con. We appreciate you. And what else? Oh, we are running one Silverline campaign, 2 titles, Teen Beetle and Squish Blade. Squish Blade is a remix. It is a 90s black and white that's been recolored and digitally remastered, brought back to you. It is a great crime fighting story, a little bit of vigilante justice that, of course, creates its problems. And then Teen Beetle has a young hero who has a super or a serum that gives him powers, but then, of course, gains the notice of some ne'er-do-wells who want to get that from him, and they are bent on their nefarious schemes. All of our projects are finished, so go over to Kickstarter.com and support those, back those projects. And what you're doing is you are really just pre-ordering them. When they are fully funded, we tell Kablam there, Tommy Flormonti, we say, hey, print. He clicks print. It's as simple as that. And away they go off the presses and then soon into your hands. And we have lots of extras. That's the beauty of Kickstarter and crowdfunding and independent publishers like Silverline. We create little goodies, extra goodies to make you part of the family, and you get exclusive content. Also, I hope you're keeping track. Head over to silverlinecomics.com and you can see blog articles and our craft columns that delve deep into the minds of our creators. And those are writers and those are visual artists. You can learn bits about us and our creative processes. And then you can also buy our comics from Indie Planet. We love for you to do that. Grab up some comics, buy them for friends and family as gifts, and join the fun and read our stories, our very our original and unique stories that you won't find anywhere else. So we appreciate you being here with us tonight. We'll continue the conversation. We've talked about breathing underwater. So here's one. What about your eyes So you're not Cyclops. You don't have bzzz power. You just have illuminated eyeballs. And I'll give you really bright, like LED, like LED eyeballs.
That'd be freaky.
Yeah.
So like flashlight eyes.
Like flashlight eyeballs.
So you could scare the heck out of people.
Yeah, and I'll even be nice. You can turn it on and off. Like you can click on, or
Well, we need to use that with the underwater thing, and then you can really freak out those divers.
Oh, now we're building a superhero.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What
Like we're talking like halogen headlight brights, like really
Oh
annoying.
yeah. How bright.
like car headlights, like really bright, like
Dodge
bright.
pickup tailgating you at like 11 p.m.
That would be
The
so
headlights
cool.
just like,
Yeah, right at the head level.
Yeah.
and the low beams that you flash the guy, and then they go they're not the high beams, and they go onto their high beams, and you
Oh, could you put like contacts in with like the bat signal cut out so you can just?
That's a great. Put colored contacts in, and you could. Yeah. I think that would be useful. Like you could look for things like at night.
That would be you. That's so funny that you just said that. That'd be good at night.
Yeah, at night.
Like if I'm asleep and I hear something, I could do. What is that?
What-
Is that
what
is that a
Yeah.
ghost?
Who
Is that
are
a
you?
monster in the other side of the room? Turn your lights on and go. No, that's just a shirt.
It could get rid of the transition when you're like in a really bright space going into a dark place and it's just like black.
Yep.
It's like you can immediately.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
no
is this-
downsides to this.
Is this part of your comic that you guys you got this guy? You're just trying to see if it'll fly
Not
for
at
the next
all.
issue? Is that what we're doing?
This is project number 14 we're working on.
Yeah.
Right. Flashlight eye man.
Underwater
like it.
breathing flashlight eye man.
Working title.
Go for it.
Big hit on oil rigs.
You know, Rory, we got to play off the nautical Coast Guard theme. He'd be fantastic.
Oh my gosh,
a
lighthouse
lighthouse?
man.
And like,
I'm out of whale oil. Call lighthouse man.
Yeah.
blink, blink, blink. He could be Morse code.
Morse code.
And then if there was a wreck, he could go. He could swim out
Yeah, and
and
save
go
him.
and rescue people. Lighthouse.
We do a World War II throwback. We're like, oh, the lights on the ship are broken.
He's stopping the Nazis from coming ashore in their
U-boats.
Tim, I'm not putting you on the spot here. But
Oh, yes. That's actually the secret story of Wolf Hunter. Is actually at the end of issue 1, he develops his powers, and then listen, he actually gets a power fight himself with the flashlight eyes, and then he just dive bombs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
He's
This is
just
so good.
he's just fist fighting junkers over the cliffs of Dover.
grabbing the propeller. They do the cartoon spin. Yeah.
Oh, he's not strong. He, if he grabs
Oh,
the propeller, he's going to
oh,
chop his
yeah,
hands
yeah.
off. Yeah, he can't do that. We
No,
didn't
that's
say he had like super.
Yeah,
That was too far.
He has
I'm
to do
sorry.
plane to plane boarding actions.
Sorry, Tommy. Super strength is just absurd. I apologize.
Oh, no,
Unrealistic.
could you? Okay, just to switch subjects. Since I brought it up and it didn't make any sense. If you had super strength, that doesn't mean you couldn't get your arm chopped off.
Right. You have to
That
have.
just means you're
True.
strong.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
have like super
have, like-
invulnerability.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, you'd have to.
Penetrable skin.
Yeah, because
Right.
I mean, just think if Superman didn't have that thing that
The bulletproof skin.
you gotta have some sort of something. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to. You'd be so
you would-
strong, you'd lift something, your arm would
Yeah.
break right off.
Yeah.
You punch a wall and then your hand
I've
would
got this. Ah!
I mean, that's kind of when they go for it. That's kind of what happens to Wolverine when like he pulls out his claws or he tries to like punch you something, and his hands just super bloody afterwards.
Right.
True. It's true.
Yeah, he can just heal up afterwards. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Without that, he'd be pretty screwed.
Yeah.
That would be a horrible, horrible superpower. Yeah.
Wasn't that
Okay.
a early college humor video? You know, Wolverine is just not what we're looking for. You know,
Oh, that-
major villain can control metal. You know.
yeah. Wow. College humor, like from the early 2000s. That was like,
When it was good.
yeah. That's still they still do their Batman movies are
Yeah.
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 they're pretty funny.
Well, now that
Harvey
they kind of
Dent.
split up their separate companies, Drawfee
Yeah.
and actually are pretty great, like separately.
Yeah.
Harvey.
Can he be trusted?
Where's
super
Harvey?
Healing, getting back to that, super healing would be really good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to.
Would you want super healing or perfect health all the time?
I beat myself up too
Okay, wait a
much. I
minute,
feel like
but
I need healing.
I think those are two totally different things. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
super
yeah.
perfect health would just mean that you didn't get sick, but
Yeah.
healing mean you could get hurt and then come back, right? So,
So
wouldn't
do you-
that be
But would you
too-
come back like all scarred up? Would you have like a boxer's nose and
Right.
cauliflower ears and like
Yeah.
nothing but scar tissue holding you together?
Yeah, you'd have to come back good as new. Otherwise, that'd be
Are as
Yeah.
good as you were at the point that you
Right.
got the power?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you also regrow? Like if you jam your hand down in a blender, do you regrow the finger? Like if your arm gets locked
Yeah.
on, you
If your
have
eyebrows get shaved off, do they regrow?
Oh god, your hair would grow back the same. You could never have a different haircut. That'd be terrible.
Ooh.
so like if you got your arm chopped off, you have to like hold it back in place till it refuses.
Yeah.
But
Right,
just
yeah.
think if you got the power while you're in the middle of shaving and you got half the face, and then all of a sudden somehow the gamma ray hits you, and then you got the super healing, and then half your face is always
Like, have a beer.
yeah, all the time. You could never. Yeah, you'd look stupid. Then you would have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
These are great questions about the superhero world. Fantastic. Yeah, now good health would be, that's one of those useful ones. Like
Mhm.
so then Rory, could you like just you want to just drink yourself into a stupor all the time, right?
Yeah, liver takes care of itself.
Right,
Yeah,
no
good.
problem. Nope.
That's Rory's intro in the Marvel omnibus. This is Rory Boyle, Power Immaculate Liver.
And, look. And like, well, then you could just stuff yourself with junk food, right?
Oh yeah.
Who cares? Who
Salad.
I
cares?
like that's a good idea. Though.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
would be like perfect health. Yeah, it would be like donut followed by steak, followed by ribs, followed by a gallon of beer, and then
Yeah. Stout, a good stout.
right. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
you'd feel the effects, of course, like
Oh.
Right.
But
But
it
then,
wouldn't
so would
affect-
your body kill the toxins entered, or would it would you still have to flush out the toxins? So when you got the runs bad because there's literally every toxin in your body came out.
that's a good question too, right? Like I would.
Yeah, it wouldn't be regenerative like
it's just
Wolverine.
It's just flushing everything out all at once.
Ooh, ooh. We found the downside.
So it's not the underwear over the spandex, it's the diaper.
Yeah.
Rubber underwear.
But then, so I keep coming back to like, because we want him to be like superpowers and maybe be a superhero. How could you use that to
Yeah, you
humanity?
right to Doctors Without Borders, is it?
Yeah, you'd be the one
Good
man
old
to bullet
plague-ridden-
train. Yeah.
All the plague-ridden places in the world. Yeah.
like the world.
Start a nonprofit, make a lot of money.
I guess you could. Okay, now a lot of these could be turned. You could monetize them. You could
Yes.
compete in eating competitions,
That would be
get the
good.
money, and then give it to charity.
Hot dogs.
Philanthropy. The superpower.
That's a superpower. It's philanthropy.
Philanthropy.
And today we've learned the real power is a giving heart.
Well, like the underwater, like Tommy's thing was like, you can get a job as a pool cleaner.
Yeah. Super thorough.
You always have a job.
You would always have a job. Yeah, you could fix
Yeah.
tons of stuff. That'd be real useful underwater.
It would be. Underwater construction is big money.
Lighthouse
Yeah,
man.
those guys get paid a lot.
Lighthouse man.
All right. You also going to clean up all the trash in the water. Save the turtles.
Yep.
Sure.
Like you could like literally go down and look for turtles to save.
Yes.
Come here.
But they
Come
can't
here,
understand you because they're not Aquaman, so they're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
terrified of you.
You go to grab one and it bites you.
Yeah.
So that's good because that leads me into my other so this is like Dungeons and Dragons superpower, like druid power.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so the campaign we just started. We finished our old one, started a new one with a new DM. I rolled a new character, which is a Triton cleric,
Oh,
and Triton are D&D Aquaman essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why you chose that.
Well, I surprisingly ended up using all my race features in the first session, unintentionally on the DM's part. So he punched himself for that. But I you have the ability to issue simple commands to like water breathing creatures, and they'll
Mhm.
understand you. They don't necessarily follow you, and also you don't understand them. So
They
we're
know
trying.
what you're saying, but they're like, screw you.
So you
dude.
still have to like be persuasive with the fish.
Yeah.
So we're trying to gather these giant fish for this town up in the 10 Towns, which if you don't know your D&D lore, that's big frozen. It's like Michigan, but winter always.
So
Always winter, but never Christmas.
Yep. So I'm down there. I stuck my head underwater to call some fish over. I roll it pretty high in my persuasion wall, so some fish come up. And then at that point, I'm like, I never thought I'd actually get this far. What do I do now?
You eat them. Is that what you did?
Yeah, so now I'd and then also the fish are responding, like trying to talk to me. I'm like, I feel bad. Get in the boat. Sorry.
So the fish do what you tell them to do, but they don't know why they're doing it, so they're super confused.
It's like, this sounds like a good idea. I like what he's saying. Wait, why can't I breathe?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting out of the water now.
Remember, it's persuasion, not mind control.
Exactly, yeah. So at that point, it turned into me bopping them on the head.
Garwomping. You went garwomping.
Yeah.
So that would be so if your power was to speak with animals, really, we can go from fanciful to realistic. How realistic would that be? Because you'd have to speak their language or some sort of level that they speak
Yes.
on?
Yeah.
You have to sound like them. You got to get their accent right.
Yeah.
They'll know you're not.
It's like Devonshire sheep versus like a U.S. sheep.
Yeah,
Can you baa with an English accent?
This is some Dr. Doolittle stuff we're talking about, right? Or are you just getting into their mind and
like Nature Girl.
Well, what does Aquaman do? I guess so. That's it. You got it.
I believe Aquaman
Mind
actually
rings.
speaks ultrasonic. Like he speaks in
Dolphin.
Yeah. He speaks in kind of that high pitch frequency, whereas Nature Girl actually has like a weird mental link with everything that is nature. It's a very vague power.
So if you had that power, what would you do with it?
You could there's a forest fire. You can corral the wildlife that gets stuck there.
Yeah.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horse breaking, dog whisperer.
Yeah, but see, like you're abusing them. That's what we were talking about. You can't do that with the mind control thing. So
You're persuading, having a discussion with them.
you're talking to them, so you can say, hey, look, there's a fire over there, and they go, we don't care. It's a fire. What do I know about fire? Was that what they would do?
Yeah. What level of intelligence do they have?
Yeah,
Right,
it's like,
yeah,
it's a fire. It's warm. I've been really cold.
You just scream danger.
Oh, my fur is on fire.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to hurt? That's not right. You explain to them all these things. Is how smart are they? Because they still have fish brains, right?
Right. That's the real problem we run into if we're trying to. So yes, if you could dolphins, chimpanzees.
Well, that's the thing where you have dolphins and squids, which are estimated to have near human levels of intelligence, and then you're like, wait,
yeah, that's true.
do they know more than we do?
Yeah. Those are weird. It's weird stuff.
The squid just turns to you finally.
Yeah.
We've been waiting.
I have been trying to talk to you forever.
Man, you can go to a farm, start talking to the pigs, and then they'll be like, whoa, we're in charge here.
Yeah.
So we're having so much fun.
Okay, here's one. If you had the power of flight, but it's only vertical.
Oh, that almost seems useless.
It's really good at high jumps.
You could get,
Yeah.
if you had if you lived in a skyrise apartment, that'd be kind of cool. You can just
Right up to
oh,
your
you
balcony.
couldn't go straight though, because they go at an angle, so you wouldn't be. You'd just be floating right out here, and you're like,
You
can
have
somebody
to-
throw me a rope and pull me in?
Land on the wrong balcony. Some lady screams.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Now, the question is do you have the power to drop
Fly down,
slowly?
right?
No.
If they feel like that if be included, it's just you're just elevator man. You can go straight and up and down.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to like shoot yourself up and then like kind of glide yourself down and then glide your, then
Oh,
go down.
If you wore a squirrel suit or a parachute,
Yeah,
That's
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
I can base jump
glide it.
from any location.
Yes.
You know, I had a character when I was the superhero games is kind of that he did the lightning stuff. He had control over electricity kind of stuff. And so I imagined him being able to like shoot lightning way up in the air, and then he could like travel that lightning thing, he can turn into electricity, fly up there, and then he'd just be up in the air and he'd go, I need to go over there, shoot lightning back down, and then go down to
yeah.
that spot. Yeah. So that's kind of what you're saying with the you fly way up, and if you have one of those suits, those
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Well, that's
just
like
start floating
Nightcrawler
around.
then.
Or
Yeah.
Kurt Wagner. You got to see where you're going,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, that's where you way back somebody commented, yeah, teleportation, but not end up in a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Line of
It-
sight.
Nightcrawler's limitation, I mean, would be cool, but yeah, it'd be cooler to teleport around the world and not end up splinched or whatever.
the
make up
Harry
a
Potter
word.
term.
Thank you. Wow, I pulled that out of nowhere.
Is that is that really Mudbloods?
But yeah, flying straight up and out. I think I keep coming out. Superpower is if you make money from it, and then you could use the money for good. That's the
Right.
simplest way to.
Yeah.
But any of these powers, if you had any of these and you got it out in the public, people would come after you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you could teleport away, you just teleport there, and then
Yeah.
you'd be gone.
Yeah. Yeah. But being a carnival act would really be the simplest use of your power.
And everyone would
No,
think
you
you're a
could be
fake.
you could be a really cool magician. Just like you do one of those disappearing acts in the cabinet, and it'd be like a
and then not reappear.
just go away. Where did he
No,
go?
I'm taking my union break.
The magic, the magnificent Thomas has disappeared again.
Which is a Carnival Magic is a fantastic Mystery Science Theater episode.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that
Oh,
one,
I have not seen that one.
Talking Monkey. It's wonderfully terrible. And Tommy, you talking about getting in the cabinet and disappearing, which little tease happens in WandaVision. We can transition here.
Yeah.
We're down to our last we're last half hour or
Last
so.
half hour, we can
We
say
cannot-
potential spoilers, but we'll try not to.
We will try our hardest. We are not good. WandaVision has only in its second week. Rory, you said you have not seen it, correct?
Oh, that is correct.
Okay. All right. I give it a hearty thumbs up. I want to give it more time. I mean, it's fun for now. Something has to happen. They've got to do a little more. But I love that that things are being teased.
Yeah.
And I had to go and watch some people that analyzing it because I
Yeah.
didn't. There were some.
There's some deep cuts.
Yep.
Especially to one comic series that happened a while ago and has recently restarted in December.
I
Uh,
know what you're talking about, but you don't have to.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's very spacey. But for me, I'm loving it because it feels like the classic side runs we'd get in X-Men. We're like, all right, here's Uncanny X-Men, blah 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 blah, and then
Yep.
here's a strike file,
Yep.
and here's this really cool thing. You're like, it's not necessary, but it's a definite tie-in, and you're going to be a lot more enriched when you come back to the main line from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very enjoyable. So yes, if you haven't seen it, keep an eye out. If you are a rabid Marvel fan, and then if you are on top of that a rabid fan of Vision and Scarlet Witch, there are, I wouldn't quite say loaded, but it's pretty heavy with little Easter eggs and little bits, and I caught most of them were over my head. And going back, and though when he grabbed some of those shows on YouTube where they analyze this sort of stuff, I can't think of the name of the one I watched, but he pointed out quite a few little bits and stuff that's left unexplained. So right now everybody's wondering, oh, what was this and what was this? This could be that, and this could be that, and it's a lot of fun if you like those sorts of things with the comic book world, those nods to this or that or hints at this and that. It's a very fun show to watch. Right now it is pretty light on like plot content, rather like as it applies to the big world.
Right.
But you can tell more is coming.
Right now, it's
So,
definitely feeling more like a love letter to
Yep.
classic sitcoms. There's,
Yep.
yeah, there's
Does he trip over an ottoman every time he comes to the
well,
door?
I mean, it's not a spoiler. The first one is like a 50s sitcom. Yeah.
yeah,
The second one is like a 60s sitcom, very heavy nod to I Dream of
Yeah.
Jeannie.
Or the Bewitched, or
Yeah,
that
Bewitched.
kind of
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, because the whole beginning of the second one is
Cartoon.
take off of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And the first one was
Yes.
kind of classic. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy, that
Yeah.
kind of silly, like,
Absolutely.
gotta run from the
TV was
kitchen.
good.
with the mother from that '70s show.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so pay attention to, like, there's the name of their neighbor.
Mhm.
That one I
Ethel.
no, but she's a
Well,
good
yeah, they're trying to make you think when you watch the first episode. My wife and I we were watching it, and we were like, are they just trying to, did they run out of COVID ideas and they were just trying to make this like an I Love Lucy kind of thing, and they're just trying to be silly, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, they're really smart at
Yeah,
what
that's
they're
the thing.
doing
Yeah,
here.
it's very unassuming on the surface, but the direction and like the Easter eggs they put in there are so
Absolutely,
intelligently
yeah.
done. Yeah,
Yep.
where if
Yeah,
you
I hope it pulls off in the
Yeah.
end. I hope all of a
Yeah.
sudden it doesn't end and it's like, oh no, this was just them trying to run out of COVID
Right.
money, and they were
you
just
know,
came up with
I
some.
say if you read any comic from two particular Marvel lines, I'd say Avengers is one. The other one is was owned by Fox and is rumored to be coming to the MCU sometime soon. You will pick up on things, and then you'll feel like you just stumbled upon a conspiracy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
feeling, is you feel like you saw something you're not supposed to, and they're trying to crack the code.
Yeah, you're right. It's fantastic.
Rory, do you have Disney Plus?
I do not.
Oh, okay, so you need to
Yeah.
let
So I'm gonna
somebody
have
let
to
you borrow their
cancel one and
subscription or
start
something.
another.
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
I've been hop into my Discord. We'll do like a watch party sometime.
Mhm.
Want to just black it out?
No, so you can stream your screen to Discord to yeah. So that's what some people because you can. It's the same thing as sharing stuff in your own household. So it's within your user agreement.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. And so what boggles my mind is I think we routinely have these conversations about the quality of the Marvel world, at least in their cinematic universe, and how they have taken their comic books and the comic book characters, they have molded them to fit motion pictures and the screens. They've done very well for the most part. We all have our nitpicky stuff, and of course, but when you compare that to them talking about Michael Keaton becoming some sort of old mentor to the Justice League in the DC world, and I'm like, who
wrote that?
These are dumb ideas. They're dumb. They don't. How come DC cannot figure it out?
Yeah. I mean, even Ben Affleck, his most recent interview, he said that Kevin Feige is a effing genius.
Yeah.
He says that guy knows his audience and he does it extremely well.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it really comes down to whoever is the line producer for DC's film, because their animation and their TV shows have all been very well received. I mean, their animation is fantastic. Ninja Batman, are you kidding me? It's great.
Yeah, yes, you're right. You're right.
But it's just whoever is creating the plot map for their movies.
Yeah.
Is then not delegating the right way, or is in some way missing the beats there.
And they're not. Marvel is doing WandaVision.
Yeah.
There are so many little, like, they're just feeding the fans, and not in such a way to make it unpalatable to just viewers, because I've got friends who are not into the comic books. They're feeding both the fans, the diehard fans, and the casual viewer. They do it so well.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how many people got into comics because of the MCU?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And really, and I know we're talking a decade ago, more than that. Like, Iron Man should not have been the best choice
Wow.
to start with.
Yeah.
Iron Man was not that popular, but holy cow. I mean, Thor, and the Avengers. The Avengers were not.
Mhm.
X-Men are cool. Avengers are kind of the dorkier.
Yeah.
They're not as. They're
No
not
one
as,
talked to the guy at the game shop that wore the Captain America shirt.
Right. Yeah, it was Wolverine, and so, and they've done it so well. I just can't fathom. Like, I feel like just hire some fanboy and have him write the plot for her.
Yeah.
Like, here you go. Sorry, we're all these executives, all these people with that should know how to do their jobs. They can't do it. The other thing I don't get is why doesn't like every comic book, sci-fi based like Star Trek, Star Wars, why don't they hire a group of like
Super nerds.
nerds?
It's-
Pay them, give them a trailer on the lot and pay them in pizza and have them say, actually, what?
You get to meet Scarlett Johansson.
Right. She will say hello to you.
Yeah.
And have them say,
Oh my gosh, it's ScarJo.
Well, that's what they that's what Stars did with Mando.
Okay.
What started that is they got
Mhm.
Jon Favreau as the showrunner,
Yeah.
but he wanted to be the only director, so he got like 10 other directors, 8 directors, who were all like huge Star Wars fans. So like Bryce Dallas Howard, not Richard Ayoade, although he was in it. Taika Waititi, Dave Filoni, who is slowly becoming Star Wars.
Yeah, he's the new George Lucas. Isn't he?
Yeah, and now
that dude.
and that's worked great for Mandalorian. So now they've given so now I believe the talks for whatever the next set of movies is going to be Jon Favreau's. That's the latest rumoring is that his decision making and plot and like mapping shows that he knows how to do a long
knows how
drawn
to
out
make it
story
work.
with multiple voices working on that story. Which I mean, and the TV show is doing that for 6 hours a season, so doing that between 3 movies.
Yeah. I'm astounded when they can take a product like the DC universe and well, it's because they rushed it too. The whole let's jump right into the Justice League when we don't care about the characters. Marvel did it right. Marvel made us all invested, which is kind of like I feel like with the characters towards the end of the storyline before Endgame. Like Captain Marvel had one movie and
but even then her I mean she was important in game just because space powers, but her actual screen time was proportional to the amount of time invested at that point. So like we'd seen Thor as Captain Marvel. Here's 20 minutes of her on the screen. Like, oh cool, that movie was good. I think.
Right. Right. Whereas we've spent how many hours with
Tony
Stark and Rogers and so forth. So
it was just good casting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's other than the first War Machine, Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
And, Fight Club. Hulk.
Yeah, the first couple Hulks were.
What's his name? No, and I'm talking the first one, not
Edward Norton.
That doesn't count.
Edward
Norton.
Yes.
Yeah. He just kind of disappeared too.
Do you know that that movie is technically part of the MCU? That's technically MCU canon.
Yeah,
Wait,
I think they consider
Edward
it.
Norton one is.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the Eric Bana.
Not the Bana, but like the Ed Norton was. It's yeah. So
Yeah,
that's somewhere in there is like a mastermind. Just like, where is he?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one between Iron Man 1 and Captain America and Iron Man 2, I think. It's somewhere in there because Tony Stark is in the post-credit scene with General Mustache. What's his name?
That wasn't Stryker, was it?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Sounds right.
Yeah, because he's the one he's part of that whole thing, because then he becomes the Wachovia Accord guy, whatever that is.
Yeah. So Stryker.
Yeah. Sorry,
interesting-
everybody out there who's
Just interesting.
Screaming at the screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that, but yeah, it'd be interesting if Stryker has been canonized before You know Wolverine given the relationship.
Aha. Okay. And then the
General
so
Thunderbolt Ross. There we go.
there you
Striker, yep.
go. Yeah. Well, we apologize. I'll
Thunderbolt,
take
yeah.
full credit. I'll take full credit for what just happened, folks out there. We're sorry. The Marvel world is growing. I'm really looking forward to Winter Soldier and Falcon. Really looking forward to the Black Widow movie, which is supposed to be out this spring. Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. If they just got off their high horse and put it to streaming, we already all have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Literally all the entire world except for
I
Rory.
feel bad for
Except for Rory, which he's going to borrow it from somebody.
I feel bad for the movie theaters. I love movie theaters.
True.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, I'm wondering though, am I holding on to an antiquated, like we're not looking at shadow puppets anymore or puppet shows. So I don't know.
Judy still going strong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the same thing to like what movies did to print. It's still gonna streaming will do the theaters. Like it'll still be around. It might be like a smaller market share, but it'll still be around in a smaller.
Because
there's still some movies that I would, movies I guess
Like,
that I would rather see at the theater than.
Like I'd rather see every Marvel movie in the theater because that
bigger screen.
But I mean, if I'm watching the next character study film, I'd much rather do that at home. Just
really, ever since we had kids, the only movies we've gone to see in the theater are like the big action movies and or kids movies.
Yeah,
and really just kids movies is just because it's fun. Yeah. My kids don't care, and now and now they're older. I've seen almost every Marvel movie with my kids, and almost all the recent Star Wars. And my wife and I have seen every James Bond since Tomorrow Never Dies in the theater. So I'm bummed about having to wait because I heard James Bond Die Another Day or Die tomorrow, Die the Day After Tomorrow. Is No Time to Die. That's what it is. Die Another Day is one of the worst.
See, if he was on time, it'd be a superpower.
If he had that watch power.
If he had the No Time to Die, that one's been pushed back against the wall.
Yeah. For writing the spy book, I really need to catch up on my James Bond.
Yeah.
I was more of like a John Le Carre guy, though.
Yeah, you got to read the Bond books.
Yeah.
So the Bond books are...
They make books?
They're based on the movie, Tommy. They've got the movie poster as the cover.
Like, now a novel.
With the pictures in the middle from the movie.
Yeah, so I like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Give me 5 dudes in a room all side-eyeing each other, and I'm sold.
I have to rewatch that movie. That's Gary Oldman, right? That was it's a slow movie. I watched it.
It is a slow movie.
I had a hard time staying awake, but I remember liking it. But I started some of the James Bond movies. They were on Prime for a while, and I was trying to catch up on ones. I've seen them all, but I think they blur together. Die sometimes, something, and
you go by which actor is playing him.
Exactly. Well, and I get them out of order. I was watching Thunderball.
Wow.
It's barely watchable.
Some of them are really silly.
It's so slow. And what I like about it, on Amazon, some of them they have that X-ray, like you can on the computer.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do it on my TV. It pauses it, but on the computer, you just put the mouse over to the side. Like they said, the budget for Thunderball was greater than all of the previous Bonds before it. Oof. Most of it was blown on all the underwater scenes.
Let's see, I mean, even making semi purposed SDVs is not cost efficient.
It's so there, and it's so funny. Like when something's new in a movie, like any movie, if it's a new technology, when they just beat the snot out of using it, they figured out well, we can really film underwater. We're gonna really use
Let's go for
this.
It. Yeah.
And it's the whole movie in the soundtrack.
The Abyss.
Yeah. Thunderball. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I feel bad for George Lazenby, but that's not a bad movie. And it's got Telly Savalas in it. How can you go wrong with that? That's a good one. But Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next James Bond. And prediction: are they going to make James Bond or sorry, 007 a woman? What do you think? Have you heard that?
Wasn't that the plan?
I mean, it's kind of whatever. It's a title.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
right.
like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, female intelligence officers have been a thing since World War II. So I mean, why
Yeah.
not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so-
worked well with Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've watched Doctor Who since Capaldi, but I've
Yeah,
heard,
I
You know the
haven't
new
watched the
Doctor
new one.
Who's,
but I've heard the ratings have
female.
stayed the
Yeah.
same.
Don't tell anyone. I've never seen Doctor Who.
Interesting.
What?
You'd like it.
Yeah.
You would like it.
You
I
know,
like Doctor Who.
really, everybody says that. They say
Yep.
first they say what, and then they say you'd like it, and but
It's kind of the same problems and same kind of problem solving you'd see in like in a Star Trek, but the
Mhm.
humor is just bumped up a bit.
yeah,
Yeah, a little campier.
Yeah.
little cute, yeah.
Well,
So-
I think that the new Doctor Who, the lady, I think she
She just
was
left.
quitting, right?
Yeah, she they finished her contract and she decided not to renew.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the thing about that show though, is it's been going on for like
A long.
Since
80
the
years.
60s? Yeah.
so at that point, I was like, all right, how much of my life do I have to burn on this, or do I want to do other stuff in my acting
Right.
career?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
always got to be.
my Doctor Who is I like to always when I was watching him when I was younger was the Tom Baker Doctor Who.
I
That's
started
my
with
Doctor Who.
Chris Eccleston.
Chris Eccleston, I liked him. He only did
Yeah, he was
2
good.
seasons, but
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Hey, look, I don't want to be typecast as Doctor Who." Then that
Right.
way he quit.
And then,
Is
then he
Dr.
went to go be the bad guy and Gone in 60 Seconds. Like,
right, yeah.
It's
And then he
you're-
was the
you're-
bad
you're
guy in
playing
G.I. Joe.
Doctor Who. You didn't want
Yeah.
to play Doctor Who. Didn't you think about that before you started being Doctor Who? You silly man.
Is that one of those kind of like career killers, like?
No,
No. I mean, it was
Other
great for.
Doctor Who's have gone on to be really successful.
I mean, it was great for David Tennant.
Yeah, he's look
yeah,
at
he
all
was
the
in
stuff
Spice
that
of
he's
Warsaw
done.
after that, and that was a great show.
Yeah.
Who was the guy after Tennant? Because he was in The
Matt
Crown.
Smith. Yeah,
Matt
Yeah.
Smith,
Matt
yeah.
Smith. Yeah, he's also been doing really great.
Ron. He plays the Prince
Yeah.
Philip.
And what's the
And,
older guy that was
uh,
before the lady?
Capaldi.
Capaldi.
That was actually
Yeah, he was
he's been
fabulous.
acting for a while, but yeah.
Yeah.
And the War Doctor, the guy
Yes.
who played Huxley in 1984, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He's actually he was also one of the older actors too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
John. I want to say John Huston, but that's not at all right.
John Hughes?
So Scott, by next week, not only you're going to learn how to do the scream talk, you're going to have to watch some Doctor Who's. Doctor Who!
He won't commit to that.
What platform would I watch a Doctor Whom on?
Doctor Whom?
Is it on Amazon?
Let me see. Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Tommy, what
yeah.
panels are you drawing here?
Hey, and folks, we got a few minutes. Let's wrap up. Tommy, you are inking over.
This is Champion Miss Fury. This is the Silverline crossover or team up book. And
I was
I was gonna say it looks suspiciously like my last VA appointment, me sitting there worried.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
What are you
oh,
gonna check
no.
next?
Yeah, that's right. It's,
I have
we
some-
have to do.
So to plug my own comic, for some, if you guys want some inside baseball, in the middle of issue 1 of Wolf Hunter, there is a it's British military hospital, but essentially it's a VA visit.
Oh yeah. Oh, so
Just
do
being
they-
harassed by a
So I
nurse
got
and
these
then waiting
lights
for the
coming out of my
doctor.
eyes. I don't know what to do with it.
they'll sign you up for the Coast Guard. You got flashlight eyeballs. So
Here's
uh,
ibuprofen. Here's your socks. You're good.
Right.
Oh,
So Tim, does he
Exactly it.
nobody
Does he
said I had to
call-
be ready for that.
Does he make his appointment? Is the appointment for 8 months later?
Phil Leon on Facebook says John Hurt. So the
John
way
Hurt.
yes.
Thank
So
you.
what happens? Wolf Hunter issue 1 opens up with the Battle for England. It is the mid stages of the Blitz, so August of 1940. In a dogfight over Dover, our hero gets his leg blown off when a was it a
Cannonball.
Mez? I think it was a Mez. A round from a Mez punctures the canopy, goes through his knee, and goes to the other side.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Walk it off, son.
Exactly. So he
You can do it. You can
so
walk.
so not only does his engine get torn to shreds, but so does his leg. He managed to successfully crash land somewhere outside of between in the fields between Dover and London. Immediately blacks out due to blood loss and shock.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice. What is this
You
in
know,
the
it's
background?
at the point where your kneecap gets like put into your other knee. That's when.
Ooh.
And then he wakes up. Then we cut to the hospital, and it's like you're stuck on a white wall for so many months, doing exercises that you hate, eating slop, and the doctor sees you and he's like, "Okay, so we got another job for you. So you're gonna leave tomorrow." It's like, I feel like I've done nothing, and I'm not sure if I've recovered. Well, too bad.
Too bad. Too bad.
Yeah.
So did you watch? So your assignment, Tim, is to watch The Man Who Never Was, which is a great classic British espionage World War II movie.
Yeah.
I will try to catch some Doctor Who. Where and when? Why? How do we know what platform I will watch it on?
I did some googling. So if you have HBO Max, Sling, Fubo, or Philo, their subscriptions, or you can purchase it from Amazon Prime or Google Play. Episodes starting at like $2.
Okay. Maybe I'll try to catch some Doctor Who. Is there more WandaVision? When is it? How is that coming out every week? Do we know?
I believe WandaVision is weekly. I heard someone say it may all be double releases, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's funny. Like the credits are like 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
They're like 20 minutes.
And the credits also have a lot of sneaky stuff in it too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I heard that too. So I might have to go back and rewatch. We are wrapping up. We're towards the end of the show here. Everybody out there, we appreciate you joining us. The first half hour and the second half hour and the third half hour and the middle half hour have all been brought to you by Daytona Beach Comic Con. Thank you, Daytona Beach Comic Con, for sponsoring our shows. Viewers, go check out their Facebook pages, their website, and like and follow to get all the updates for the dates for the show for 2021. We all know that TBD is a pretty common acronym for any event that's coming up.
Especially in this
Silverline Comics.
COVID-y kind of stuff going on. Everything's getting pushed back. But
so support them however you can, and go to silverlinecomics.com and click on the links to buy our comics and read our homepage right there. We got lots of good stuff going on. And go to Kickstarter.com and do a search for Teen Beetle or Sling Blade. Did I say that right?
Switchblade.
Blade. Sling Blade.
Sling Blade is a movie. Switchblade is a comic from Silverline about a vigilante with knives.
Switchblade remix.
Switchblade remix. It is a classic comic from the 90s that's been recolored and remastered for you. They are done. Go
Got
support
adult Dolby Digital surround sound.
Yeah. Support those right now.
It's just me and Tommy on either side of you, like reading the lines.
We'll talk. We'll scream into your ear.
Comics ASMR.
We'll get our black metal scream going into your ear.
We have enjoyed our time here tonight. As always, you can comment later on. We'll try to read those and respond. And like, follow, subscribe to our Facebooks and YouTubes and so forth and social media. We are all over social media. And we'll give a quick good night. I'll start. I am at Steam Patriots on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow me or connect with me professionally on LinkedIn if you'd like. My name is Scott Wakefield. And that's it for me. Rory?
Yeah, that's it for me too, because you named them all.
At Steam Patriots. And that's
Steam Patriots.
Coming sometime from Silverline. Tommy?
Go to infernostudios.com. You can find all my links to all my good stuff there. You can go to Facebook. It's Thomas Florimonte Jr. to see some of my comic booky stuff. But if you look up Tommy Florimonte, you're going to find more of me doing stupid stuff on mountain bikes. So you don't want to see that. You're going to go, how's he going to finish his book if he breaks his arm when he runs into a tree? So you don't want to see that. But those are fun too. But yeah, go to infernostudios.com. You can see all my stuff.
All his videos about shoe shopping.
Yep,
And
shoe shopping. That's right.
Tim TK, go for it.
Team TK Writer on all the socials. I just recently reactivated my author's Facebook, sharing some tidbits of Wolf Hunter stuff there, as well as comic memes. And I'm on TikTok at Tim Doesn't TikTok, where I talk about books and punk rock and the intersection thereof. And I am on Twitch at AgroBacon, AGGRO Bacon, one word, where I'll be live with some Destiny 2 later tonight.
All right.
Are you done with your monthly sub goal?
We are through the monthly sub goal. We are almost double there, which means the last Friday of this night will be the last Friday of this week, this month,
This fortnight.
this fortnight will be a intoxicated stream.
How late do you stay up streaming since you have a day job?
Later. It's later there for you than it is for me.
Oh,
but-
that's right.
Yeah.
It's only like 2 in the afternoon where you
Yeah.
are. Never
Yeah.
mind.
That's
Never
but I go until
mind. I'm
about
so stupid.
I go until about
It's
11
yesterday,
p.m.
though.
here on Wednesday and Sunday nights, and about midnight thereof, or a little bit later on Fridays. So normal start time is 9 Pacific.
Yeah, you've still got the sun's out where you're at. So it's,
Well, we're a little far north, so not too much. Our sun dies at around 4:30, but
Yep.
hopefully
Yeah.
it recovers soon.
Gentlemen, thank you. We are going to sign off here, and you can go off and think about having flashlights for eyeballs, or speaking with fish and living underwater, under the sea,
Or wearing
And-
other people's shoes.
and wearing whatever shoes you want.
That's right.
Wait,
the
an
greatest
adaptation with
superpower.
power. Whenever you see someone else's shoes, you can just switch them without them noticing.
Magic.
I want those shoes.
Oh, magic. That's the power I want. I want magic so I
Perfect.
can do anything.
Solved.
Okay. Tommy, that's like we need an hour to
Okay,
parse
we got
apart
another hour. We're
magic.
staying up.
All right,
We're staying up to midnight.
We're not
Silverline
going
After Dark. Here we go.
the third hour.
The
of
I'm gonna have to go
magic.
get some
Somebody
coffee
make
or
something
something.
with that. Folks out there, we appreciate you joining us. We are here every Wednesday. There is a Sunday night show as well. Like I said, go to all of our socials, and if you like, follow, subscribe, you're going to get our updates, and you're going to get updates for our Kickstarters. Go to Kickstarter.com after this and go back our double feature projects that are up there right now, and support
Back our Kickstarters.
independent creators that are out there. And we love you all, and thank you. And as always, make mine a silver
Silverline.
Dun,
Good night,
dun, dun,
everybody.
dun, dun.